Well, in a once-in-a-lifetime experience, photographer Pete McBride explores the Grand Canyon. He hiked the whole thing and put everything together in a book, The Grand Canyon Between River to Rim. So we definitely want to welcome Pete to our show today. So we want to know what spurred this journey for you.
Well, the idea was really to take a look at our national parks and Grand Canyon, which is our most iconic national park, and see what's happening there. There's a lot of development pressure happening around the park, and the idea was, could we leave a line of footprints through there that somebody, maybe my 10-year-old nephew, could repeat in 30 years from now, and would he see the same place or would it be different?
Okay, and we've got to be real, not a lot of people have hiked this.
Not a lot of people have done this. There is this saying that more people have stood on the surface of the moon than have walked through the entire length of Grand Canyon, for good reason, because there's no trail.
And we're looking at some of the gorgeous photography from your book right now. What were some of the highs and lows of your trip?
Some of the highs were unexpected, actually. It was the silence. We live in a pretty noisy world, and we often don't think about it. And when you get inside Grand Canyon, you realize just how dense and crystalline that silence is. You could hear the clatter of sheep hooves all the way on the other side of the canyon, and they sound like they're right next door. It's pretty remarkable.
And those are probably a lot of sounds some of us never hear in a daily life.
Completely. Yeah, you can. It was so quiet that my microphones on my camera actually didn't work. They're calibrated to a noisier silence, which is kind of remarkable when you think about it.
It's totally remarkable. A lot of people describe trips to the Grand Canyon as a way to find themselves or discover something. What was your experience?
Did I find myself?
Did you find yourself? These big life questions.
No, it is a remarkable place, and I think really this book and project was a way to highlight what these parks and wilderness can do for us and how lucky we are to have them. I think the greatest lesson is they really teach humility. They remind us how lucky we are to have wilderness and that Mother Nature's in charge. It makes you feel small in a really kind of great way, in a delicious way.
And you also went on this as a way to create social change and to draw awareness. What were you trying to do?
Well, I wanted to make people aware that this park, which is about to have its 100th birthday,
yes,
that there is some possible changes and that national parks may not be as protected as we think they are. There's potentially a gondola that people want to propose to build right into the heart of Grand Canyon, a $1 billion development project. There's a lot of increased air traffic, helicopter traffic, there's mining, there's a water ski park proposed. There's a lot of things that would turn this more into an amusement park versus a national park.
So your nephew in 30 years would not be able to take that same trail you did, or it would look a lot different?
Well, A, there's no trail, so you'd have to figure it out, but it could potentially look a lot different unless we as the public kind of step up and realize we have to pass on the torch of conservation from one generation to the next, and that these national parks, which some people say is America's best idea, get handed forward and left as they are, as it was famously said by Teddy Roosevelt when he first looked over the rim in 1903 and helped kind of turn this into a park.
Okay, and I've got one more question. You were talking about just some of the differences in temperatures. How did you guys do that?
It was hard.
It was hard.
Temperatures swung from about 116 degrees to -8, and we had to go very light. We had to cache food in buckets and figure out, there was a lot of logistics around it, and the idea was to move as efficiently as possible, so we couldn't carry a lot. So we you know, suffered a little bit, but that was part of the beauty. It was a great weight loss program. I lost 35 pounds. Because we couldn't bring enough food. But we're very lucky to have a place like Grand Canyon National Park and all the national parks we have, and it was a way to celebrate it. And tonight I'm doing a book signing at, I think, Unity for Rainy Day Books.
Yeah, we're going to get to that in just a second.
Oh,
Pete,
I'm ahead of you,
thank
sorry.
Pete, thank you so much. He's giving an eye-popping, spectacular presentation this evening about that once-in-a-lifetime journey in his book that starts at 7 at the Unity Temple on the Plaza.